Sneak peek. If we were a movie, you'd be the bad guy. I've had this song stuck in my head, and I don't even know if those are the right words. I don't know why this song is stuck in my head, but it's been like a month. Hey guys, it's me Sylvia, back with another video. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back, S Club. Okay, we got carried away. That's okay. Today's video, we are going to be doing an affordable drugstore, nothing over $10 makeup tutorial. You guys really love when I use affordable products on my channel, and I really love affordable products. So it's a win-win. I've done a bunch of like product reviews, first impression type of videos recently. I haven't done a makeup tutorial in a while. I mean, those videos are makeup tutorials too, because I always try and create a cute look with those products. But today we're really gonna focus on like the makeup application, my techniques, how I do the makeup, and yeah, also explain why I chose the products I chose, because I really like these products. And I think you will too. Hair appreciation, please. I took so much time doing this. I'm not good at hair, so let's take a moment. She cute, right? She cute. Before we get started with the video, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I drop 2 videos a week, and they are great videos, if I do say so myself. So you don't want to miss out on them. And be sure to hit that little notification bell next to the subscribe button so you can be notified when I drop those videos. I'll stop rambling on. Well, actually, that's a lie. We're gonna ramble on this whole video, but let's get right into it. I'm also gonna use affordable makeup brushes. I'm using all Real Techniques brushes in this video because Real Techniques and like BH Cosmetics are really affordable brushes, but they're still very good. Very good. Very good. Calm down. I know I never really talk about like makeup brushes or the tools that I'm using to apply the makeup, so I'm gonna make sure in this video we're gonna talk about those too. I think Real Techniques is really good for beginners, especially. Each of their brushes are actually labeled for what that brush is for, so it's like, you know, pretty straightforward. It tells you this is a duo fiber eye brush, so what do you use it for? Your eyes, you know? So I like that. And they also sell stuff in like sets. So this was like a brow set, so you see you have like the angled brow brush, spoolie, like they even came with scissors and like tweezers and everything. So that's super convenient and great for beginners too if you're looking for just like affordable little sets. I'm pretty sure this case, yeah, this case comes with like some of the sets too, so you can hold your brushes. And same with BH Cosmetics. They have a ton of super affordable sets and even things to hold your brushes in. How cute is that? So those are my recommendations for brushes. Moving on. So for primer, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer Dewy. And I've been liking more dewy, luminous, hydrating primers. I just find it gives your skin this really pretty glow underneath your makeup or through your makeup. Now this one could honestly be used as a body shimmer too, or like a body glow because of how luminous it is. It's almost like a liquid highlight, but not quite. And look at this glow that it gives your skin. Like, it's insane. I definitely wouldn't use this by itself because it's actually that intense. You see? But underneath like a full coverage foundation, it looks beautiful and makes that full coverage look more natural. So for foundation, I have the L'Oreal True Match, an OG. Everyone knows this. If you don't know it, you need to know it. They have so many different shades of it. I think it's like 33, so you're definitely gonna find your shade, which is rare for the drugstores. And we're gonna go in with the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. I wet it so it's a little bit damp. It'll give us the best application that way. And we're just gonna dab that on over top of the primer. Now this is more of like a light to medium coverage, but it is buildable. So if you want more of a natural finish, this is definitely gonna be the foundation for you. It's really good for like an every single day foundation, you know, but if you liked the cake, then maybe you want something that gives a little bit more than this, but I think this gives you enough coverage to where it looks natural, but still covers the important stuff that you don't want shown. Like, do you see, it just looks like my skin, but better. That's the type of foundation we're trying to do in 2018, you know? I'll be honest, nothing can replace the Beauty Blender for me, but this is probably one of the best drugstore sponges that I have ever used because it doesn't leave like imprints in your foundation, you know? It still gives you a nice blend. Usually they're too hard. Like, this is a decent density. It could be softer, but it's still gonna do the job. It's really hard to replicate the Beauty Blender. You would think it's literally just a sponge, but it's not. There's like some magic in that thing. I don't know. We're back to pale Sylvia today. Ain't got no self-tanner on. I'm gonna try and actually not be a vampire and go out in the sun, and hopefully I'll get a natural tan because I do tan really easily. I'm just so pale because I work and stay inside all day filming videos and editing. And whatever that foundation doesn't cover, if you do want a lot more coverage in like acne areas, I would just spot treat with concealer and add that extra coverage. That way you still get an overall natural kind of your skin but better look, but you're still covering up those pesky areas. Next up for concealer is a concealer that I feel like no one is really talking about, but it's affordable, it's great, and that is the Cover It Full Coverage Concealer from Model's Own. This brand I'm still kind of getting to know. I've only tried a couple products from them. I think I just got put on their mailers, so they've been sending me some products and I'm really intrigued. We're gonna mix the shades light and medium. I swear they need a shade in between. You know, it's a huge jump between the two of them. You don't need a lot. It's such a full coverage, very thick formula, and it really reminds me like 100% a dupe for the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, which is a very popular concealer. I feel like there's no other drugstore affordable option that kind of dupes that formula, that full coverage, thick, like, you know, you don't know. I don't know what that was, but you think this is not going to cover that under eye? You'll see. You'll wait. Just wait. So let's blend that out using the Expert Concealer Brush from Real Techniques. Great, Charles is starting to play Fortnite in the background, so you guys know what that means. He's just gonna be yelling this whole time. Do you see how that little bit really just covered up everything on your under eye? Now you won't like this if you like a very lightweight, you can barely feel it's there type of product, but if you want that full coverage with a still very natural finish, then you're gonna love this. And if you like the Bye Bye Under Eye, but you don't like the price, then you're gonna love this too. This would be a great concealer as well to go ahead and do spot treating wherever you need a little extra coverage with your foundation, because it has that really thick consistency. It'll surely cover any giant breakout. Because it's a very thick formula, I like to wait before I set it where the creases, it's gonna crease. Like, it's very thick, creamy, it's gonna crease. I wait for that to form and then I'll blend it out in a couple minutes, and then it's not gonna crease on you at all because you already got rid of that excess product. And that's just a little trick. You can do that with like any concealer, but usually with like this type of formula you really should, otherwise it's probably going to crease on you. So moving on to brows, I'm using Maybelline's Brow Precise Micro Crayon. I've talked about this before, I'm going to talk about it again. It's a really great brow product, and if you like that precise tip, then you're going to love it because it's super tiny at the tip. You can really imitate little hairs and get that like microbladed natural brow look, and it gives you so much control. So if you want that control and you like to be a little bit more precise with it, you'll like this product. If you like something that just kind of covers everything up, fills it all in, you know, something you don't really have to think about, you might like a brow product that has a thicker tip at the end of it. So I like to create little fake hairs at the tip of my brow here and kind of extend my brow inwards, make them look a little bit longer. I just find it frames my face better. And then I'll go ahead, create the shape at the bottom, just following my natural shape of my brows, and I'll do the same thing at the top. Notice I'm going in little whisk motions to make more natural hair-like strokes, and then I'll just fill in. Again, only where I need it, so I don't end up getting a blocky looking brow. And for that price, you also get a little brush at the end of it, so you can go ahead and blend that product into your natural hairs, and it's not gonna look like you did anything. It's gonna look like you woke up like this. I woke up like this. Flawless. Next up, let's prime our lids. I'll be honest, I don't have a drugstore primer that I'm like crazy about, but I'm going to be using the e.l.f. one. Let me know down below if you guys have a drugstore eyeshadow primer that is really bomb and that you stan. I stick to my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot for the majority of the time. This one's decent. Like, I don't know. I feel whatever about it. It does the trick, but I'm not crazy about it. It's very like thin and kind of slimy. Go back in with that concealer brush and blend out any of that creasing that already has started to happen on my under eye, so it can kind of thin out the product there, and so when we set it, it won't crease again. Now let's set. I'm gonna use my favorite loose powder from the drugstore. It is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Fair Light. It comes in different shades, so you want to use something depending on your skin tone. And also, just like my concealer shade, I'll do a little bit lighter so then it can brighten. So this is a little bit of a lighter shade than my foundation would be, and I'm going to just pack this on using the setting brush from Real Techniques, which is a perfect brush for right under there. It's very difficult to find an affordable setting powder that you can bake with, but that doesn't give you that film after and give you flashback with flash photography. I'm also going to apply whatever's left over on my brush just to my T-zone where I normally get very oily. because we want a glowing complexion, but we don't want to look like we lost control of the glow or we cooked bacon on high.
The makeup lady said I have an oily T-zone.
So we're going to leave that on there to bake. What that's going to do is it's going to lock in your concealer and really prevent it from creasing and keep it lasting longer throughout the day. While that powder is melting in there, it's also going to help to brighten once we dust it away. So now we're going to move on to eyeshadow, and I'm going to be using Glam Reflection Palette from BH Cosmetics. I think this one is on sale right now for $10. Normally it's like $16, so that's why I still included it in this video. But if you want an alternative to the BH Cosmetics, maybe you can't find it in store near you, you can use this Maybelline Pink Edge Eye and Cheek palette because it has very similar colors and it's really, really great formula as well. And it's at the same price point. Or I think it's a little bit cheaper than this one. So I'm going to use this shade right here. There's also a really nice huge mirror in this palette. So for an affordable palette, you still get that like luxury of being able to use a large mirror. Placing that shadow basically all over the lid, but avoiding the outer corner. I'm using the Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush. To get a very flawless blend, you want to put your brush down first wherever you want the most eyeshadow. So I want to really build my shadow on the lid, which is why I'm first placing the brush down there. And then as there's less and less product remaining on the brush, you want to go up and outwards into the crease, and that's going to give you a more flawless blend. And you can just sort of build it from there if you need more product, because it's always easier to add more than it is to take away. Now I'm going to take this shade in the palette using the shading brush. I'm going to pack that on right on the outer corner closest to my lash line, really just focusing it right there, blend out what we put down there. So I'm going to lift that up just a little bit right up to the crease. And now it's time to switch brushes to a more fluffy brush to really get a flawless blend between those two shades. And you just keep going back and forth between the brushes until you get the blend that you want. So now, so we can work on the lower lash line, let's wipe away all of this powder, and all of that fallout goes right with it. Flawless. So now I'm going to take that same kind of salmon pink color that we used all over our lid, using Real Techniques smudged brush, which is so little. It is perfect for under the eye here. We're going to take that color and smoke out the lower lash line like I normally do. And then taking that charcoal black kind of color here that we used on the outer corner, I'm going to put that in with a really detailing brush here. What kind of brush is this? Detailer brush. See, I told you, they literally tell you exactly what it's for. Connect that smoky color right to my lower lash line. So there we go, I'm done with this eyeshadow palette. Literally 2 colors, just blending the crap out of them. I really like how it turned out. So those shadows are bomb. You can see they blended out perfectly. They're pigmented, like for the price. Yes, BH Cosmetics, they did that. We are gonna add a little bit of glitz, a little bit of glam with my fave, Gnomie from ColourPop. It's their Luster Dust, which is really meant to be like a super intense highlight, but we're gonna use it as a glitter topper for my eyeballs. I'm gonna kind of just flick the product off my brush and onto my lid. Oh, you guys got a nice view right up my nose there. That's nice. That's nice. I got a boogie in there. Oh, shit. Anyways, so it's enough to give you just a little bit of sparkle, but it doesn't leave any color behind. So it's kind of like just a glitter topper. So now just to really make the under eye even more flawless, we're gonna go in with BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Matte Finish Pressed Powder. Just pack that on right on the inner corner there. This is gonna help to brighten. I like to do this step for sure if I'm gonna take photos. And if you have like a really deep socket here, this is also gonna help to make your under eye look way more smooth. This would be like the brighten step in Kim Kardashian's Conceal, Bake, Brighten set that she does, but it's been like a trick in the makeup industry for so long. I actually learned about this when I was working at the MAC counter. One of the girls told me to do it like on clients when they were coming in to get their makeup done for pictures, like engagement photos or whatever. And it's kind of something that I'll do off camera, like sometimes if I do my brows off camera just to save time. I never really take the time to talk about it. So next up, let's use some mascara on my lower lashes. I'm gonna use the CoverGirl Toter Tease mascara because it has this really unique tip to it that you can really get the inner corners, and the little short spikies are easy to kind of maneuver underneath your eye without smudging it on your concealer. This is the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. It is just so good, and the name suits it well because it's like butter. Very finely milled, so it makes it easy to blend. So you're not going to end up with like one big streak. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it, so it still gives you a really nice natural glow. I'm going to also put some around my forehead, kind of around my hairline here. This is just gonna make the bronze look more natural because obviously the sun is gonna hit the high points of your face here. So if you're only putting it on your cheeks, you know, it's not very believable that it's a natural bronze. So there we go, it's applied. You can see it still has a subtle sheen. It is beautiful. I love this bronzer. and it's affordable. We're gonna use the Gnomie Luster Dust from ColourPop that we kind of dusted on our eyelid, but we're gonna actually use it for a highlight now. And this is like with the perfect highlight brush because it has like this perfect density for me. A fan brush is like too sparse for me to get that intense like booming highlight that I like. So I'm also gonna put that just right there because I have a really deep dip in my nose. So putting highlight there brings it forward and it makes my nose look more straight. Also a little bit right on the sides of my forehead here because naturally that's where the light would hit and you want your glow to be even across your whole face and believable. You can even put a little bit on your chin. Next up we have blush. Milani has some of the most beautiful looking blushes and the best formula, and it's affordable. So we're gonna use the Milani powder blush in Romantic Rose. This is the perfect blush color for me. It's like not too bright pink, you know, but it's not completely bronzy, so it'll give you a very subtle rosy tint. And I also use the Real Techniques blush brush. It's very big and fluffy, so it'll give you a very soft application. I've been reading in my comments that you guys think I apply my blush too heavily, which I might. Sometimes I get carried away, and I think a large part of that is because I was using a brush that is like small and dense. It was more so kind of like this, but now something like this helps me not get carried away. So now for lips, I have two ColourPop products. I'm gonna use one of their lippie sticks. This is in the shade Sure Thing. And this is the exact same lip pencil. It's in Sure Thing. So now last step is to set everything into place and melt all those powders together using Wet n Wild Photo Focus Natural Finish Setting Spray. Just gonna spritz that everywhere. And I'm gonna press it into my skin with my beauty sponge. All right, you guys, so this is the final makeup look using all of those affordable products. Everything was under $10. I hope you guys like how it turned out and learned a little something with the tips that I showed you today. Before you go, make sure you're following me on my other socials because I am very active on everything else and I'm always unboxing PR packages and asking you guys what makeup you want me to film with and things like that. But that's all for today's video. I hope you guys loved it as much as I love you. If you're not yet subscribed, well, how did you watch the whole video but you didn't subscribe yet? Come on, don't be shady. Subscribe before you leave. And then watch these other videos of mine. Get to know me a little bit better. Become part of the S Club. We can build on this relationship. All you have to do is just click another one of my videos.